Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Hood Property Celebrity. I am Malika Watson, income property expert, investment property guru, and of course, your Hood Property Celebrity. Today I'm going to talk to you about some situation where I had an investor who, good friend of mine, good friend of mine. We used to be competition, but I would consider him a good friend of mine. But he decided to go into a different city, a different market, and see if, what I thought about buying properties from the city. Sometimes it's a great idea. Sometimes it's not so great idea. It depends on what your agenda is. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. There's pros and cons to everything. And the pros I'm going to say is this. When you do buy that property, you're going to know exactly what it is that property is going to need done, what the city is going to request of you to get that property done. Yes, you're going to probably pay a lot cheaper for that property if you were buying it from someone else. But that also comes with strings attached. They're going to have certain standards of materials that they're going to expect. They're going to want standard tenants information, income. There's so many different things that you have to think about when you're going to purchase this property. And so you have to look at the details and see what it is that you're getting into, because you're going to be marrying that city, and you're going to have to uphold whatever their standards are. And if you want to do more business with them, then you're going to have no choice but to abide by the agreement that you make with them. For me, the only issue with that is if you're balling on a budget, you have to be careful, because that shit can be kind of tricky, especially when they request you to hold the property for a certain amount of time. So what happens is, if they give you that shit for cheap, of course they're going to expect something back. And in return, what they'll say is, for example, you can't charge more than this amount for rent per month, and you can't sell the property for this amount of time. To some people, that's fine. They have no problem with it because they want to keep it as an income property. But if you decide that you want to get rid of it in a couple of years, let's just say you have bad luck with the tenants, you have bad luck in the neighborhood, shit happens. So what can you do with it once you're there? And if you're tied to the city and you can't get rid of it, you can't get rid of it. Man, I had motherfuckers put deals together and they don't tell you that they have this. All of a sudden you have a buyer, they want to sell, and then you sit down, title work is done, all of a sudden they can't close because there's 2 years left on their agreement. And so you spent this time, you spent money on a closing, and you find out that you can't sell. And this cocksucker knew that you couldn't sell. He was just hoping to get over one and get through. But it doesn't work, man. So keep that in mind. If you're going to buy a property from the city, one, you want to find out what the requirements are, how long you have to keep the property, and look at the scope of work, because they saw everything. And so that means there is no getting around doing some shit yourself. Well, if you can do minor plumbing and small plumbing, you want to do it yourself. Not when the city's been through there. When the city's been through there, you got to go through exactly what it is that they say that the property needs. And you have to hire licensed plumber, licensed electricians, and things of that nature. So keep that in mind. If you want to buy in the hood, it's good. It's good to buy in the hood. But what you want to do is be careful. If you're going to buy from the city, you want to find out what the guidelines are for ownership of that property. So that way there ain't no surprises later on. All right. Once again, I'm Malika Watson, investment property guru, your Hood Property Celebrity, and I will see you on the next one.